Sherley versus Sebelius was one of a series of cases between parties wrangling over the contentious issue of federal funding for embryonic stem cell research. The 1995 Dickey Wicker Amendment to appropriations bills prohibited the National Institutes of Health, or NIH, from funding either the creation of human embryos for research purposes or research in which human embryos were destroyed, discarded, or subjected to risk of injury or death. After this amendment was passed, scientists isolated embryonic stem cells. These pluripotent cell lines could be developed into almost any type of human cell for further research. Once derived, the stem cells from a line could be used for years. However, the process of deriving embryonic stem cells necessarily destroyed the source embryo. In 2001, President Bush issued an executive order stating that federal funds could only be used for research on the embryonic stem cell lines that already existed. In 2009, President Obama issued a new executive order stating that the NIH could support embryonic stem cell research to the extent permitted by law. As this order required, the NIH drafted new guidelines for human stem cell research. During the notice and comment period, Drs. James Sherley and Teresa Deisher filed comments opposing the use of federal funds for any embryonic stem cell research. The NIH didn't respond. The new guidelines permitted funding of projects using cells created by in vitro fertilization that were no longer needed for that purpose and were voluntarily donated by their owners. Sherley and Deisher sued Kathleen Sebelius, Secretary of the Department of Health and Human Services. They argued that the guidelines violated the Dickey Wicker ban. The district court initially granted Sherley a preliminary injunction. The District of Columbia Circuit reversed. The district court then granted Sebelius summary judgment. Sherley and Deisher appealed to the D.C. Circuit.